Welcome to my channel.
Boiled frog syndrome, the biggest killer of all time. If something doesn't kill us on contact, we seem to dismiss it as a non-issue. We establish safe dosages of various contaminants, whether it be food, water, pollution, or vaccinations. After all, if the poison is low enough to not destroy our health in a matter of mere minutes, then no problem, right? If you nodded your head in agreement, then you could quite easily be another victim of the boiled frog syndrome. What is boiled frog syndrome? Quite simply, it is based on the premise that if a frog is placed in boiling water, it will jump out, but if it is placed in cold water that is slowly heated, it will not perceive the danger and will be cooked to death. Some feel that scientifically this would not prove to be true. However, there is scientific background that corroborates this very notion, and shows the intricacies of how it can occur. Gulps raised the temperature of the water from 17.5 degrees Celsius to 56 degrees Celsius in about 10 minutes, or 3.8 degrees Celsius per minute, in his experiment, which prompted normal frogs to attempt to escape, whereas Heinzmann heated the frogs over the course of 90 minutes from about 21 degrees Celsius to 37.5 degrees Celsius, a rate of less than 0.2 degrees Celsius per minute. One source from 1897 says, in one experiment the temperature was raised at a rate of 0.002 degrees Celsius per second, and the frog was found dead at the end of 2.5 hours without having moved. In 1888, William Thomson Sedgwick explained the contradiction between the results of these experiments as a result of different heating rates used in the experiments. The truth appears to be that if the heating be sufficiently gradual, no reflex movements will be produced even in the normal frog. If it be more rapid, yet take place at such a rate as to be fairly called gradual, it will not secure the repose of the normal frog under any circumstances. Whether it is scientifically true or not, the anecdote certainly rings true of the state of health today. Slowly, but surely, we have been poisoned and malnourished on multiple accounts each day, yet, it is so gradual that very few people understand the ramifications. We have become obsessed with safe dosages and limits, which are provided to us by trusted government officials and other authorities, and we mistakenly think if we stay within these limits that somehow our health will be completely unaffected negatively. Hello, boiled frog. The reality is that due to the daily burden of chemicals in our food, air, water, personal care products, household products, furnishings, and equipment, combined with malnourishment through diets composed mainly of processed and dead foods, we end up engineering a slow but sure death of cells in our body. This leads directly to a breaking point that results in disease processes that invoke aging, pain, and other forms of suffering. Most people call it getting older. I call it becoming more and more toxic and malnourished. There's a big difference. Consider the fact that most people start feeling older today in their mid to late 30s. That's over 12,000 days of being on this planet, with multiple toxic exposure points, some more harmful than others, like mercury fillings and vaccines. But doctors and other medical professionals will have you believe that these low and therefore safe dosages are nothing to be concerned about. They don't accumulate. Your body can eliminate them. It is true that a fully functioning body can eliminate many different forms of toxins, if it were in optimal condition and if we lived in a relatively unpolluted environment. Sadly, both are rarely the case, and your liver function eventually becomes very compromised. Then one day, you get diagnosed. Cancer, arthritis, allergies, hypothyroid, fibromyalgia, IBS. Insert one of thousands of disease labels here. They come out of nowhere, or so it seems. You weren't inhaling lead-paint, smoking cigarettes, and excessively drinking, all at the same time. You weren't exposed to any unsafe levels of toxins, therefore, it must be all good. Sorry, but that's a lie that is costing many people their health and well-being. The fact is, this slow drip of toxins in your food, air, water, and personal care products, combined with malnourishment due to a nutrient-depleted food supply, are slowly destroying your body. Factor in prescription medications, surgeries, and other medical procedures, and you find yourself nursing health problems at a much earlier age, and looking forward to decades of pain and a lowered quality of life. You and your children deserve a better fate, but it won't happen if you ignore this warning. You'll end up with health problems like everyone else, and so will your children. In many cases, children bury their parents far too early, and you don't get a second chance at redemption with them. That's not a legacy you want to leave. Don't ignore the heat turning up another degree higher, and you being one step closer to painful disease, and an untimely death.